אני ברוב חסדך אבוא ויסחו אשתחווה לך על קודשך וירוסך ואני ברוב חסדך אבוא ויסחו אשתחווה לך על קודשך וירוסך.
Hello everyone, I'm happy to start a new series today about an issue that is not, I would say, universal in Orthodox shuls around the world, but pretty universal. And that is there an obligation to have the Bima in the middle of the shul? Full discovery. When I was a rabbi in Halifax, one of the privileges that I was privileged to do was to move the Bima from the front of the shul to the center of the shul. It took a few years. There was first just the bima in the middle, and then we built a proper, beautiful bima in the middle, naming it in honor of Dr. Ralph Lomenberg, Zichrono Livracha, a man that was very dear to the community and dear to me. And therefore, I have to admit I'm a bit biased that I think it's very important. Having said that, let's go back to our sources and see if indeed this is an obligation. So the Gemara in Sukkah that we quoted so many times, Daf Nun Aleph Amud Bet, that describes the huge shul in Alexandria in Egypt, says that this shul was humongous and tremendous. It had kiflayim kiyotze'ei Mitzrayim, twice the number of people that left Egypt, ubima shel eitz be'emtza ita, and the bima was smack in the middle. Comes along the Rambam in Hilchos Tefillah, Perek Yud Aleph Halacha Gimel, and says, "U'ma'amidim bima ba'emtza habayit." Why? Kedei sheya'aleh aleha hakoreh b'Torah, u'mi she'omer la'am divrei kibushin, kedei sheyishme'u kulam. The reason the bima is in the middle is that when you relane, people should hear, and when a drush is given, people should hear. So there's no, I would say, esoteric importance, but rather it's fully functional, it's technical. Namely, so everyone should hear. In this path also walked the Torah. When he codified his code of Jewish law, he comes along and says, "Uma'amidim bima be'emtza beit hakneset, la'amod alea hakoreh b'Torah, kedei sheyishme'u kulam." The Torah in Siman Kuf Nun, talking about building a shul, says that you put it in the middle so everyone should hear, and the Ramah in the Shulchan Aruch paskins this. Even though the Shulchan Aruch doesn't mention it in Shulchan Aruch, the Ramah does. V'osim bima be'emtza beit hakneset, she'yamod alea hakoreh b'Torah, ve'yishme'u kulam. So therefore, if this is the reason, if you can find a system in which, if the bima's in front or the bima's in back, and people can hear better, obviously it would be permitted. And that's exactly what the Kesef Mishneh, namely Rav Yosef Karo, who didn't paskin this in Shulchan Aruch, and now we know why, actually says on the Rambam. He says, I'm living in communities where the bima's not in the middle, the bima's in the back, or maybe in the front. Don't start telling me the Rambam's wrong because we go into shuls and we see bimas in the front or in the back. It's not an obligation like a halacha, but rather it's based on the place and on the time. At the times that the Rambam and the Torah and the Ramah was talking about, when you have a very big shul, what better place to put the bima than in the middle, so that everyone should hear. But today, unfortunately, our shuls are very small. We don't need such big shuls. And everyone hears better. It's better that it's in front than in the middle, because it's such a small shul, everyone can hear fine, and therefore it can be in the front. So based on this, when you have a small base medrash, you can have the bima in front. as was the Beis Medrash in the shul that I was the rabbi of in Halifax, and many other shuls that are small. The Bima is right near the Yarod because it's such a small shul. However, when you have a big shul, you have to find the most effective, efficient place that will allow everyone to hear. From this perspective, if indeed we sum up this segment, the only reason to have the Bima in the middle, based on the model of that shul in Alexandria, Egypt, was that everyone should hear. However, as we continue through the series, we'll see other reasons that might be more on principle. And the minute you go on principle, it's much harder to change it based on, as the Kesef Mishnah says, Hamakom ve'hazman.
Shaykhoi, lifi li yivi, lifi subri